James, we had a strong year. Give us your first impressions.
Firstly, what we were was above our June 2019 results, which I think is a great performance and happened for us a little sooner than we had originally expected. That said, a fair bit of our rebound in our profit came from lower provisions that we needed against our credit books this year versus last year, where it was pretty much in the height of the pandemic. But that said, I think it's against the current backdrop and environment, it's a really very strong, very resilient performance. We've been disciplined with our origination. We've managed to maintain, enhance our ROE, and we can really enter, I think, 22 with a lot of confidence. Jaco, maybe you've been living and breathing the numbers for a while. Give us the sort of highlights, the headlines.
Yeah, thanks, James. I think, look, the best thing, PBT up above 10 billion Rand. I think that's a great performance, up 24%. As you said, ROE above 18% at 18.7%, so inside the first rand range. So I think that's an excellent performance for the year.
And would you say there's a star performer or a star of the show this year across our business?
I think all the businesses did well, but market stands out for me. Profits up 28% across the portfolio, that they really did well. So I think that's a fantastic performance. Carried this year by the SA business, especially the fixed income and inflation desk part of the business. Commodities did well as well. Rest of Africa slightly softer this year, just with slower volumes between the London-Nigeria corridor, but I think we expected that. So the good thing, reserves held up well as well, so I think that performance is really well underpinned.
Good, thanks, Jaco. And obviously our banking business, a major contributor to profits, which is transactional banking, lending, advisory.
Good performance. Profits up 19%. I think we have to recognize the fact that credit impairments, as you mentioned, lower this year, but we went into the year with a lot of provisions on the book. Volumes in South Africa a little bit softer than we would have liked. Obviously coming out of the pandemic a little bit slower, but I think that business is really doing well and the business is well provisioned going into the next financial year.
That's good news. And private equity, I know they had a tougher year last year, but...
Yeah, they came back well. I mean, profits up 56%. I think the really good thing is annuity income up 36%. And we also benefited from some realizations in the portfolio. So I think they're well set up for the next financial year. James, I mean, we speak a lot about the rest of Africa. We've got big ambitions there. So just your thoughts about their performance and how they're positioned for next year.
Okay, yeah, profits up 39% this year, so now 30% of our total profits. I think perhaps a little bit flattered by low provision releases this year, particularly with the rebound in oil and gas prices. That said, what is really pleasing to see is good client acquisition, underlying volumes in the business. The Nigeria-London corridor, particularly in terms of reduced investor appetite for Nigeria, was a lot slower. You referenced that in our markets business. So that was a bit of an offset and lower deposit rates. But all in all, I think a strong performance and really proof that our strategy across the continent is bearing fruit.
Yeah, great. James, we talk a lot about our kind of ambition on primary banker and trusted advisors. So how do you think we're positioned to assist our clients in the environment that we're in at the moment?
So Jaco, I mean, I guess the first thing for me that's important is that we are winning clients. So we've won over 80 new primary bank clients this year. And that may not sound like a huge number, but in the large corporate space where every client is a significant business, it really can move the needle for us. We play a key role as trusted advisor to many of our clients, and that's evidenced by the kind of transactions that they entrust us to do, and there's been lots of those over the last year. I guess looking forward, hopefully slowly into a post-pandemic environment, we're really there to enable our clients' growth, and so we're very much open for business. We've got a very strong balance sheet, so we don't have vulnerabilities that we need to worry about. We can really look out and look to our client base at the moment. So that said, I also think some of the sort of more recent rhetoric on structural reforms in South Africa is actually quite encouraging. And you know, as an organisation, we really will try to do what we can to unlock infrastructure growth, to unlock the latent growth that is in this economy.
James, I mean, final question maybe. You mentioned kind of post-pandemic, you mentioned kind of some of the structural changes coming. So what do you think some of the focus areas are for us going into the next year? And where do you want to focus your attention on?
I've covered a little bit in terms of driving growth. I think that we are well positioned from a lending perspective. One of the big themes that is really coming much more quickly into South Africa and the region, and it'll be highlighted in the COP conference in Glasgow later this year, is the ESG theme. And we've really upped our skill level in this space, and we see this as quite a big driver, and we're going to be very active in shaping this in terms of how we lend, how we facilitate the right kind of transactions with an ESG lens. But that said, Jaco, we've got a diverse business. They're all successful businesses, and we're going to keep investing in our systems, our platforms, to make sure that we've got an absolutely first-class offering for our clients.
Thanks, James. It sounds exciting. Thanks a lot.